Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. Alright, so this is Pro Cycling Manager 2017, and we are in Pro Cyclist mode. Our young 19-year-old stage race specialty rider is currently in a 5-stage race, the New Zealand Cycle Classic. This is our first stage race of the year, and we are heading into stage 4. Now, we opened this race with a short prologue that we were able to finish 11th place on, and we're still hanging on to that 11th place. However, today may just be the first time that we start to see a split in the field. It is very short climbs that we're going to see today. It's only one climb, but we're going to see it 6 times. And if you look at the stage profile here, you can actually see that there's an additional false climb right after that's just about the same size as the initial climb itself. So this little double climb, we're going to see again and again and again on this loop track 6 times. I think by the time we hit that 5th or 6th time, we're going to start to see the field split up, and we might just lose 20, 30, or 40 riders from the group and finish with a more elite group, potentially giving us a chance to finish or climb into the top 10 overall. Despite our strong 11th place in the standings right now, we are still not seen as the team leader. Why? Because our actual team leader, Vetkov, is sitting 2nd overall. So with that, the team continues to work for Vetkov and not supporting myself. Likewise, in the top 20, Taylor Sheldon, another teammate, is sitting strong and in contention for this stage. So we are very much seen as an outsider.
So everybody should find a
So let's see what our role is for the day. Hopefully I'm not set to be assigned as work. We are set as a teammate. We are set to work. They want us to head the group. So we're actually going to burn some energy in that role as teammate. So we're going to have our work cut out for us to actually stay fresh in this race and not wind up in trouble. Alright, so for now, I'm set to save my strength. We've got 6 riders off the front, none of them from our team, so at least there's other riders in the mix that are set to work. As is always my strategy, I'm going to work my way towards the front so that if anything does happen, I will be able to quickly respond and save my energy and not have to go from back to front again. So another 4 riders have headed off the front. 10 racers out front is going to be dangerous. In fact, we're already being set to manage that gap just a few kilometers into this race. So we're being sent to the front to catch up to that breakaway. The good thing here is that I'll be able to use up quite a bit of that 20k that I need in order to gain and work at the front, which was assigned by my team manager. We'll be able to use that before we hit the climbs, though that first climb is already just 15k away, and we've not been at the front for 5 yet, so it's going to take us at least over that first climb here riding at the front. And I feel like I'm probably burning more energy than I should, as nobody else is sharing the load with me. So I'm going to go ahead and ease off a little bit. You can already see that I have burnt some stamina when the rest of my team is totally fresh. Alright, so there's 5k. We're 25% of the way towards our goal on this race. I do have a -2 on my race day condition today. Not as bad as I was yesterday. Yesterday I was able to get to the front and finish and hang on to my 11th overall in the standings. I'm just 16 seconds off the pace of the overall leader, Nielsen Palace. Alright, so now we are comfortably fit into, it looks like, a group of 3 who are planning to lead the race for the next at least handful of kilometers, probably for a while. This early group tends to lead a lot. And now we're back on the front. Alright, so looks like I'm having a little issue with my mouse. I need to replace my battery. So I'll be back in just a second. But in the meantime, we are leading the race.
There's a sustained rhythm at the moment. Some riders definitely will be able to keep up. There's an attack in the group at the front.
Alright, I'm back, and my mouse is working as it should. And we're heading to that first climb.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the
Looks
breakaway
like
group.
it is just over a kilometer in length, which makes it very short, and it's not that steep either. We're only at just a shade under 5% on the gradient. You can see that here, as our current gradient is just
The
over
breakaway is not to
4%.
everybody's liking.
That's the
peloton
distance
has
to the top of
significantly
that climb.
increased
Here's
its
the
speed.
wind speed, how long you have to a sprint, which there's no sprints on this stage, and your current speed, and this is your distance from the overall to the finish line. This corner is from the front group, by the way. Alright, here is what I was talking about. This is that false climb. It's a lot shorter, but it's quite a bit steeper. We are up over 8%, so even though the place where you earn the points on the climb comes earlier on, you have that quick false flat, and then you go right back into climb immediately after, and it's actually twice as steep as the original climb, even though it is shorter and not classified. So from that, I do have a feeling that quite a few riders will get dropped from this stage, and
The
we'll
pack is beginning to
see
get the
a bit of a
lead. The
shake-up
pack is increasing its
in
work
the
rate.
standings,
Some teams can't be
and
happy with the
hopefully can
breakaway.
find ourselves climbing inside the top 10, as long as we don't end up wasting all of our energy here riding off of the front, which very well could be the case. Now I'm going to start to speed things up a little bit. Looks like I've reached the 50% mark. We have a much larger group than before that is sharing the load off the front. So I'm going to go pick up my intensity a little bit on that. We're 2.5 minutes behind the 10 riders at the front.
He's trying to give his pals the slip. The pace is really high.
And
so
now
for the
as
moment,
we approach
shouldn't see too
our
many
second
attacks.
time on the climb, again here we are, it's 1.6k from the base of the climb, but it is very gradual. It's not steep by any means. And let's see if I can get a gauge on, here's that false flat, and then at 87 we start climbing again, maybe 86.9. Let's see where we are when we get to the finish.
A couple of teams have set
0.7,
themselves up as pacemakers
so it's
for the pack. They obviously
1.2k
don't
on
have
second
anybody
climb.
in a
So it's
breakaway
actually
group.
really surprising that they didn't place that as the mountain climbing points line for that, but we'll take it. Whatever we have is what we have. Okay, now I haven't been near the front for a while, so they have definitely picked up the pace. Our teammate Barry has started expending a lot of energy, and we have not yet reached our objective on this race of time at the front, so I do need to keep working a little bit harder here to spend a little more time
There's a
off of
breakaway
the
in
front.
the leading group. Uh-oh, the gap is widening.
Right,
It's
here's
now
that third
more
time
than 2
on the
minutes.
climb.
The
Now
peloton
you can
seems
start to
content
see
let it grow.
there's
Some
an
team
impact.
managers
Barry, who's
mustn't
been riding
appreciate
off
the
the
fact that there
front,
is a breakaway, given that
is
the pack has
getting
increased its
pretty
speed.
tired. And our other riders who aren't working, even they are starting to see just that little bit, that little hint of
That's half the race
fatigue.
done.
Now
There should
we're
be a lot more
halfway through
movement
the
from now
stage
on in.
race, so time's gonna pick up. In fact, just right there, we actually lost a group already. I'm sure they're gonna pick up. They're only 40 seconds down, and that's from the front rider. So just that small gap starting to show up. When you're only 3 climbs of the way, you're only halfway through, and that's already taking place, that's where I can definitely see that we will have a split finish here, and we will not finish together as a group. At least that's what I'm predicting. Now, we're only a minute down from the breakaway groups. Surprisingly, we've raced pretty hard.
There's
I mean,
more than a minute on the
I'm
clock.
at
The brake
81
seems to be working.
on my effort
teams have
level,
set
and I
themselves up
still
as
haven't
pacemakers for the pack. They
ridden
obviously
at the
don't
front
have
for
anybody in the
quite a
breakaway
while.
group.
And another teammate,
Their front
Ray,
group is disorganized,
has
and
worked
some
really hard.
riders are
So while
exploiting
we're in
this
second
opportunity to
place,
attack.
it definitely shows that we are riding hard today to try to put some pressure on Nielsen Pallets. And I finally see myself riding off the front on the steepest of climbs, and so it actually only ended up about 1K that I was able to ride
They
up front.
really
But
are
we get over the
moving.
top,
The pack can't get
and
strung
I'm
out too
riding
far,
back at
or
the
it's
front
going to
once
start
again.
breaking up.
I got to be
Oh,
really
the list
careful.
of those
See, we
left
already
behind
lost
goes on
Barry
rising.
because of his efforts off the front, and
There
that
we go.
could be a
That's
real
two-thirds of the
danger
race
for
behind
me,
us.
as we still haven't caught that lead group at 10, even though we've closed the gap on him a bit. Now, I've used up enough energy that I really feel I should recover. I'd like to at least get to 75%, as I think my last checkpoint was at 50% of that goal set by our team manager of 20 Ks off the front. So if I hit 15 Ks at least, I can see that as a good day. I don't want to waste too much energy in this effort, because now things really are split, and we're still 2 climbs away from the finish as we're taking care of that second climb now, and things are already split. This was about the time where I figured splits would start to appear, but it looks like it was the third climb from the end, and we already lost a third of the field off the back. Alright, secondary climb. We are up and over. We have just 1 climb to go, and my energy level is fairly low. I'm actually kind of afraid that if I do end up off the front here, that I really run that risk of wasting whatever energy I have before that climb and then not getting to the finish line with the main group. Alright, I'm off the front. If I can get that before the climb, get my 75% mark. Nope, did not get it still. I led for another K or so there. And my energy level's low. I don't want to be off the front right now at all on this final climb. I'm going to slow myself down a little bit, not waste that energy.
There's an attack in the leading group.
Now I'm told I can relax, but of course it hits right as I run out of energy. And now the real climb is coming up, and here I am. I'm off the back. No, we're back level. If we can get over this climb, we should be okay to make it to the end with the group. But I think we're about to see a split. We do. There is a split. Front group, 24 riders, and I end up not in it. And I actually just lost my group. So, my role in the team has cost me my overall standing. I'm going to lose the group now. Though there's a small chance that we're going to catch them here in the final. We got 7K to go. I'm working hard, and we are just off of the back of the main group.
The finish line is getting close. The riders
might be able to catch them. I'm not going to catch them myself, but our group might just catch them. We are so close, just right there. Right now, we would definitely have a split in time. And now we're just 2K from the end.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up. He really had to fight for that one.
We just lost our time.
Sprint finish. The riders bringing up their rear have made it through sheer willpower.
So there goes my 11th place in the overall standings. Lost because of my role in the team, but you got to follow orders if you want to be competitive. If you want to get the chance to be a team leader at some point, you've got to follow those orders. So I worked for the team, and I end up finishing 64th outside of the front group. I'd be real surprised if there is not a split here shown, because there's a clear gap among those in the front. Okay, let's see. Oh, seriously? Nope, there we go. There's the split. So the top 49 finished together. we lose a minute 7, and actually that little drop off that I had from the group there at the end sees an additional split. I actually came in by myself. I lose a minute and a half, and now we are long gone from our 11th place all the way back to 62nd. We got 14 out of 20 kilometers at the front, so our evaluation was good. So at least our team principal is happy from our efforts on the day, but now we're going to head into the final stage, completely out of contention for this individual race. It does finish with a climb, and I'm sure we're going to end up being assigned as a worker again, especially now that we're not sitting in 11th place. So I will be working pretty fast through this race as we have nothing individually to race for any longer. So our rider's very first go at a stage race, which is our specialty, is our strength.
Hello to one and
because
all.
we were not
The
seen
route
as
is
a team
fairly hilly,
leader,
so there should be plenty of
we
action.
had to play
The
that
race will
role
take
of
place
team
in
Barador
beautiful weather conditions.
and work for the team, and or domestique as it's known. As a domestique, we now have to compete again in that role, and in fact they've upped it to 25k at the front of the group, though for now I'm being told to stay tucked in the peloton, meaning stay out of the wind, save your energy, which I'm going to work my way towards the front, but I'm going to do that. I'll go ahead and stay in. Now our race day condition today is looking a lot better than it was yesterday, but it's a little late for that, as again we lost our position in the overall standings and dropped on down. Alright, so set an easy pace at the front. Let's go ahead and do that. This is not an easy pace, that's an easy pace.
He's launching an attack. There's not much hope in it succeeding,
so
but at least his
rider
family
is
gets
away
to
right
see
now,
him on TV.
And otherwise I am currently leading the group, leading the peloton. So if we somehow get to the
There's
front,
now more than a minute between the breakaway and the pack. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed. The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages
here's
above
another
10%.
group trying to break away.
The current
4
pace is a
riders
bit too
off the
docile
front.
for some riders who are looking to create a breakaway.
There goes another rider, 6 overall. Technically, my job right now is to catch these guys.
Uh-oh, the gap is widening. It's now more than 2 minutes. The peloton seems content to let it grow.
And
The
we head
breakaway
over
is
the
not
top.
to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly
7th
increased
overall,
its speed.
we've already led 7 kilometers. That's 25% of the way towards our overall goal. Nice, a little bit harder here. It looks like now that we are over that climb, a group has come to the front to work. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that pace just that little bit more. I want to get my goal achieved today, especially since we're not competing for anything else. I'm also going to speed it up a bit more, 50% of the way towards our goal. Racing just hard enough that we are the main guy in the chase. So I'm going to slow down just a hair. See if I can share that workload a little bit. There's 75% of our goal complete. And now we're into the mix. But not just us leading. So it really just seems that that was over the sprint. There we go, 100% goal achieved. So I don't need to waste more energy than is necessary. There we go. Should be enough to keep me near the front in that mix. I might end up with a turn or two, but otherwise save some of that energy towards the finish. And with my goal achieved and nothing else to race for here today, I'm going to go ahead and go max speed until the final climb. And we'll try to keep our position here in the peloton as long as we need to. Looks like they just picked up the pace as we're approaching halfway. And they told me I was done, and just like that, they tell me to get back up front. Alright, looks like we actually already had a group drop off the back. Riding with a bit more pace today than we have been in the previous stages. This is the final stage of this race. So a winner will be declared today. Nielsen Palace still leads the way, and our teammate is still running in second. So we're once again being told that we need to push the pace and get up towards the front. So I'll go ahead and pick up the pace a bit. Again, nothing else to work for today, so I might as well do what is asked of me and work hard but slowly. Yeah, again with another effort. Okay, so I keep getting reminded that I need to keep working, and I just haven't been on the front yet. There we go. Alright, now I'm leading the way and pushing the pace as requested. Alright, and it looks like I'm going to be the one possibly to reel them in. We've caught the lead group. And the field has gotten smaller even before this final climb, as the field is down to just 41 riders. And the group that's just off the back is definitely not the rest of the field either. Alright, we're into the final climb. We'll slow it down a little, but I'm not going to go down to speed 1 as this is all we got left. I'm told to relax, but it's too late. My energy is gone. It's wasted. I'm going to push towards the end, and we'll watch the race unfold.
Due to such a frantic pace.
We'll keep an eye on our teammates. Alright, so we're the first one of the team off the back, but a lot of that came from our work on the day. Nielsen Palace, as expected, ends up winning the day, and our teammate, Vetkov, only comes in 11th. So his hopes of hanging on for either for the overall win or at least hanging on to second are dashed as the overall race leader, Nielsen Palace. As I mentioned after the first stage, ends up winning the day. He was definitely the strongest racer here and favored for a reason. Alright, well, we were completely out of contention, but that was the case before the race. Where did we end up finishing? 47th, 2.5 minutes down, leading us to an overall, well back in the field, 53rd in our first stage race. Okay, well, we at least gained some experience for completing that first stage. 20 points nearly puts us over the top for a level 9. Now, we are still set to time trial as our focus, and we're going to go ahead and do that. We've got exceptional on the day. Our manager is now fully satisfied at 100%, and we are nearly to level 9. And it's really early in our very first season. So, despite things not being perfect by any means, finishing outside of the top 50 is not good. We are in with the manager. We are nearly about to level up once again, and that's the key. If you're going to progress, it's going to happen through following orders. It's going to happen through working on your training in the right way and making progress where you can. So, while things aren't perfect, there through training itself, we've done it. We've progressed to level 9, and now we're starting to get into at least some decent attributes, specifically in the time trials. We gained 2 in the time trial and prologue again. Our hills and mountain climbing continue to improve, albeit still outside of good quality. They're at decent at least. On the flat though, we're going to need a lot of work. Our stamina has picked up 3, which is awesome because we are going to need that in these stage races, as well our resistance and recovery, have improved. For at least one more level, I'm going to continue to focus on time trial, as we get strong in that early. That's what gets you into these stage races and competitive position, and then that climbing is what's going to keep you there. So that'll be our next area to work on. Right. Well, our fitness has now climbed to 91%, so we are looking good. It's early in the year. We're going to head into February soon, and we are looking on the up. Let's see where we're at in the results. In the standings, we are not in the World Tour. The CYA is for Cyanide. That's the company who made the game, but this would be comparative of the real World Tour. As you can see, Chris Frimley's way, and that has been the top rider in the world for the last 4 years anyway. And we're not looking at the continental standings. We are looking at the overall of all riders compared head-to-head. So this is the Super Prestige, and we are still down there with 15 points overall. Alright, well, that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So, if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe. Tune in next time on my road to the record.